morning, YouTube. It is Friday. What is it, 14th? The 16th of June. I'm on my way to Blue Ridge area, Virginia, Troutville, to pick up a plucker. We're going to put our birds on the table this weekend. We got 38 Cornish crosses and 15 McMurray Big Red broilers that are going to be processed this weekend. So I've got all the other equipment. Now I'm just heading out. I met a guy on Facebook that does plucker rentals. I'm gonna pick up a plucker from him and try to start the process and learn how to do it ourselves. Here we go. All right, so we got the plucker in the back. You can see it right there over my shoulder. Real nice guy. Sons do 4-H, so they raise a variety of animals, and 2 geese, some rabbits, some layers. He does meat birds, he said, probably every other year, about 50. Barnyard kittens everywhere. Shoot, he had some chickens, chicks in the incubator, but best thing, he had 3 Durocs, which was really cool. His son shows him for 4-H, so seeing the young Durocs that he had, beautiful, beautiful Durocs. So on the way back now, ready to get it home, we'll start the process. Good morning, everyone. Today is officially chicken processing day. Let's take a tour. So I moved the Cornish crosses out of the chicken tractor and put the 2 turkeys in there. The McMurray Red broilers have been moved from their coop and run area to this holding area where all the Cornish crosses are as well. So these 3 boxes will all be processed today. Cornish crosses and McMurray's Big Red broilers. So the way the setup is the birds will go from the holding area to the site where they will be humanely killed, to the scalding pot, to the defeatherer, to the table where they will be eviscerated, and then to the cooler where they will sit for 12 to 24 hours. The cooler will be filled with water, ice, and salt. So I'm gonna show you guys how to eviscerate this chicken, take the craw out. I've watched more YouTube videos than you can imagine. This is probably my 53, 49, 48, 48th, 49th bird of the day, out of 53 total. So first thing I do is I come up, I flip the breast point at me, pinch a bit of skin here, cut through that first bit of skin, okay? Pinch down and pull. Right here you have the craw, which looks like it's a piece of the breast. This took me forever to figure out, but it's actually separate, okay? It's a flat sack because they've been off feed for 12 hours. You wanna take that and you wanna pull it away from the breast. So now you have a defined breast and an empty sack, okay? You have your neck bone here. I take my neck bone, 2 fingers, I pinch and I pull, right? And I pull that down. So now I have the neck by itself, the craw, the esophagus, and the windpipe all right here. Now you can take from the bottom and pull it all through. I don't do that. pull it up, separate it, cut it right here along the side, take out some additional fat, crawl, esophagus, windpipe all together, gut bucket. You got your neck out and exposed, larger knife, one side, left side, top side, other side, take my neck, pop it back, boom, next, okay? Turn her over, got my tail, you know the oil gland is in here, follow your thighs straight down, boom, oil gland and tail all be in there. Now this is where it gets tricky, right? You got your bottom side of your breastbone. I pull the skin back to see where it indents. Pinch this here. Cut through that first layer of skin. Thumb to separate. Now I'm here like this, and I'm separating it. Now I see underside of my breast, and I know all the organs are in there, okay? So a real little nick, small nick, to get to where your organs and things are. Pull and separate. These are, I'm busting down a McMurray Big Red broiler, so there's a lot more fat on these. Coming in left and rolling, left and rolling to loosen everything up. And then I'm doing one big claw motion and scooping out, okay? So left and roll, and then I'm scooping out the claw motion, pulling down. And I got the remainder bit of that esophagus and the windpipe. Okay. Now flip it back over. You can see some poop. My tail's hanging low. I cut down 1V, 2V. 1. Come to the other side. You can cut up or you can cut down, whichever's easiest for you. Boom. Now it's done. Okay. Come over here. It's all fat. Got your livers. Got your heart. No, so it's more liver. Okay. Got your heart all here in the fat. Got your intestines. I think this is a gallbladder. You pop this, you're gonna get a bright green, looks like antifreeze. Boom. You don't want that on your food. Okay, rinse that off. All your intestines, your gizzards in here, we don't save that. Boom. All right, I'm gonna rinse my cleaning area real quick. Come back here. Just look at my bird. I flip it back over like this way. I need to get my 2 lungs out of there. The bright pink things you see placed upon the breastbone and the lungs. Thumb, I'm gonna go under and scoop, go under and scoop. Go under and scoop 1. And just pull it out. 1 lung. Go under and scoop the other, same motion. Lung number 2. Okay. Pull out anything else that you don't want in there. And now, you come here, you got a clean bird. You got some fat. You see your breastbones in there, okay? I can stick my fingers all the way through. They come out on the other side, on both sides here. Got a little bit of esophagus piece right here. Okay, so I'm gonna pinch that. That didn't come all the way through. Pinch that. Careful with your knife. Boom. I want to shout out the Marlin knife brands. Okay, I've got the 8-inch boning knife here, and this is the, I want to say this is the 6-inch fillet knife. No, I think this is the 8-inch fillet knife, and then this is the 6-inch boning knife. I'll make sure to leave the links below, but they're great. I also like to use Smith's knife sharpener. They've been getting me through today. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna rinse this down real quick, and I'm gonna throw it in one of the ice chests to cool down for about 12 to 24 hours. And that's how you completely eviscerate a chicken. What's going on, YouTube? So we just dropped off the plucker. We did 53 birds today.
He did 53 birds. I only helped for about 15 of them.
That's a different experience, man. Like, I'll tell you this, right? I was a little intimidated because I've watched hundreds of y'all's videos out there of other YouTubers, other homesteaders, other small farms, right? But actually putting your hands on the bird and going through it a few times and utilizing your memory and what you kind of heard and saw on the other videos, when you put those two together, it's a lot easier than you think. But just watching the videos and never really dispatching a bird, never really eviscerating a chicken before, I will be completely honest, I was a little intimidated. I thought I was going to mess something up. But, you know, after bird probably 10, 11, 12, around that range, I felt much more comfortable. The Cornish crosses definitely have less fat on them than their McMurray big red broilers. Our birds are still soaking in water, so we haven't put them on a scale yet. But I'm interested to see what the real weight average is for both birds, and then what the weight difference, the difference between the weight and the average between the two. I'm thinking the McMurray big red broiler are going to be more flavorful because all that fat on them.
Maybe.
But I'm not too sure. But I mean, it definitely is a different process. The plucker came in huge because I cannot imagine trying to defeather all those birds by hand. Scalding temperature, we had more success around like the 145, 150 range. I went higher one time just to test it out to like 160, 170, and it definitely does start to cook the breast. So definitely play in that 140, 150 range. I would advise that. Really have a prepared workstation and a good flow of things. I think ours worked out very well. From the cage to the killing cone to the scalding to the defeatherer to the table to the water cooler. I would recommend investing in killing cones, like the metal ones that people utilize or people, I guess, market. I was using old 5-gallon buckets that I had pulled off the side of the road, dry rotted, you know, very brittle. I think 2 or 3 fell off while the birds were flapping around.
Yeah, the way they flapped around, they were barely holding together by the end.
Yeah. So I would definitely next time invest in some more permanent metal, durable killing cones. But other than that, I mean, for our first time, I think we did a good job. We kept some feet for a lady. We kept a lot of the livers and hearts for some of my buddies that will use them for fishing. I don't eat gizzards. She doesn't eat gizzards. And then the intestines, we'll just dispose of all that kind of stuff. We kept the necks. We'll do some stock with those. But I mean, the majority of the chicken is going to be given away to a couple neighbors and then immediate family and then our personal use. So it was definitely an experience. I would not do 53 birds again. I would do 2 seasons, maybe, like a spring, summer season of like 30 max, and then a fall, heading into winter season of another 30.
53 was a little ambitious.
Yeah. We went just shy of 8 hours, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Yeah, just shy of 8 hours. We'll start at 5:43. No, just over 8 hours. 5:43, ended at 1:48.
And mind you, I was only able to help for probably the last like 2 hours of that. So that's him, doing everything himself, which was definitely challenging.
So, I mean, 8 hours, you figure that's about what, 6 to it's about 6 birds an hour. So, I would definitely recruit some help next time. Because the kind of the way I did it was, I'll put 3 in the killing cone, knock them out, put them in the scalding, put them in the water. We'll put them in the water, put them in the defeatherer, knock all the feathers out, and then put them on the table. Do 3 more, scald, defeather, leave them in the defeatherer, and then do 3 more, leave them in the killing cones to just drip. So I had 9 birds kind of. So as soon as I finished the 3 on the table, I would put the 3 that in the defeatherer on the table, 3 that were hanging in the water to the defeatherer. So I just moved like that. But I definitely was probably got much more comfortable with it, and we were able to fly through it. So they're sitting on ice, water, and some salt now to kind of hopefully tenderize them a little bit, take some of that, you know, adrenaline and tension out of the muscles and the tendons, and kind of, you know, relax the meat, make it more tender. And then tomorrow morning we'll start to, you know, seal them up, put them in the freezer. Overall, I think it was a pretty good process. It was a learning process for sure. You?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to you for doing all of that work. I mean, it's been, what, 8 weeks of water fill-ups and food fill-ups, and those Cornish crosses, man, they can eat.
Yeah,
so
that is true. Somebody said that. I don't know what channel, what page, where the video was, but somebody said the Cornish cross eats a lot of food, and we knew that, but I mean,
we just didn't know how much.
Nah,
I mean,
53 birds were going through an entire 50-pound bag of food
like
at $17 and like 2, maybe sometimes 3 if the day was a little bit warmer and they weren't eating as much, they weren't as active. But I mean, you're talking about a 7-day week. You do the math, 17 times 3, let's round it up to just 20. That's $60 a week over an 8-week period. But the McMurray Big Red broilers were really grown out 4 weeks before that. So the real 8-week date for the Cornish crosses would have been this next Saturday, which is the 24th, and that would have hit the 12-week mark as well for the McMurray Big Red broilers. So actually the broilers were at 11 and the Cornish crosses were at 7. So,
but they were still decent size.
Oh,
like,
for
we
sure.
did not need to wait another week.
Yeah, we did not need to spend another $60 and wait another week. So I'm happy at the size of the birds that came out of those scalding takes, those defeathers today. And, you know, just feeling the weight of that bird in your hand. I do take the intestines and all the entrails out, and then the feather, it still had a solid weight to it. And the breasts on them, on all the birds, are very nice. So I think we're good.
Yeah, we'll definitely end up with a lot for our freezer. So
yeah, definitely. I would say invest in a good defeatherer. It'll make your life easier. A good set of sharp knives. Okay, that way you're not sawing, hacking. Make smooth, nice cuts through the meat, through the flesh, through all that. And just watch your YouTube videos, but the best way to do it is get hands-on. And this is coming from somebody that's done deer, small game, fish. Chicken was extremely intimidating to me, even though I had that experience. But kind of doing it and really seeing where all the parts were that people talk about in the video made it a lot much easier process by actually getting my hands on it. So we'll kind of look at how much chicken we eat in a year, the cost comparison of does it make sense for us to raise our own, or should we just go to another local homestead or small farm and do it that way. You know, when you had in our time and effort and all that kind of stuff, what's the real value of it all? I personally think it'll be worth doing it again. I think I would only do McMurray Big Red broilers because they're better free-range bird. They're not as messy. They don't eat as much. Yes, they might take a little bit longer, but they yield a fattier meat, a larger breast, and like they don't need to be contained within the chicken tractor, things of that nature. I had them in probably like a 20 by 15 or 20 run area with like a lean-to cover, and that was perfect for them. So I'd probably invest in them again if we decide to do it again in the fall when we look at kind of how much our consumption is. So that's all I've got.
yeah.
Watkins Homestead signing off. See you guys next time, and as always, hope everything is going great where you all are. Peace.